Okay, we want to welcome you again to brand new GOSPOCAST. And yes, there was a special dedication. Today we're going to start a new series that I call The Image. You just don't want to miss any bit of this one because it's going to be so exciting. GOSPOCAST continues right after this. Okay, welcome to a brand new GOSPOCAST. My name is Star. I'll be your host for today. Now, what are we talking about? The image. Now, today we'll be talking about everything began with an image. Every single thing you've ever seen. And when you understand this thing, you understand how imaging works, how the power of imagination works, how everything is just a picture, and how anything can be pictured and be actualized, then your life becomes so much different. You're not going to be moved by what is moving everybody. You're going to be focused and pursuing that image that has captivated your imagination, and everything in you wants to bring it into reality. So let's go today. We're going to go back to Genesis and we're going to go the foundations of this, because this is the power that God uses. He builds an image. He creates an image, and when he creates an image, he interacts with it with the power of his imagination. And when his imagination is focused on that, it controls both his speech towards that image moves into his speech. That imagination goes down to his speech and he speaks it, and because he's all powerful, it comes to pass. So now watch that. We're going to see it in the creation, and we're going to take it and apply to ourselves. We're going to even see how the devil also uses the same power, because he learned that from God, and he's been using it till now. You're going to see what the devil is after right now is to sell people the wrong image, the perverse image. Whatever the devil wants to just give to you, he starts selling all kinds of images to you in your mind. They fire your minds with all kinds of images, and anyone that you just roots into your mind, your imagination, and established and connect with your imagination, and so strong there, is definitely going to be actualized. I don't know whether it's temptation or a good thing or a bad thing. If the devil can root that into your mind, it will be actualized. Now look at Genesis chapter 1 verse 4. And God saw the light that it was good. And it's important because you look down again to Genesis chapter 1 verse 12, you will see it again. And God saw it was good. If you take a look again to Genesis 1 verse 18, you see it again. And God saw it was good. And that's not all. If you take a look again to Genesis chapter 1 from verse 21, you see it again. And God saw it was good. Now move again to Genesis chapter 1 verse 25. And God saw it was good. So what is happening here? Now, all these 5 factors are pointing to us directly that all that we see God create has been imagined in the mind of God. It has been imagined in the mind of God. So when it has been imagined and been accepted in the mind and put to work, now if through his word he spoke it, through his spirit he created it, because he has seen the picture. So now what happens in this 5 factor is a reminder, an approval that yes, this is what I saw in my mind, this is what I want to make, and now I've made it, I've brought it into reality. The same thing that the devil also took when he attacked Eve in the garden. It's simple. Now look at this now. What the devil did to Eve was not to do something different. He just brought what God has created and sold a different picture to Eve. And that's what the devil is still doing right now. He's taking the creations of God, the things that God have made, he perverses it and then sells the picture, an enticing picture of what we shouldn't even be imagining. He just sells it, makes it so sweet and exciting that you can buy into it. And look at what image does. Image can take you from where you are to where you're not supposed to be. And likewise, that imaging can also take you from where you're not supposed to be to where you should be. So in other words, when the word was formless and void, God knew there's an image he has set in his mind that he can bring to the formless situation in the world. And then he spoke and it came to pass, and he saw it. I was like, yes, that's approval. Could it be? It's wonderful to know that the word that the Bible used in the book of Genesis chapter 3 verse 6, when the Bible said, and the woman saw that the tree was good for food, was the same word, rawa, was the same word that God used when he said, and he saw that what he created was good. So you see, it's the same power, but it's in different operation, different manipulation, different phase or ways that it's put to work. So the same thing, the same old power of imaging is what God used, and the same thing is what the devil used to pull man away from God. And if you understand it, you can use that power of imaging and imagination and bring to pass whatever that you have ever pictured in your mind. GOSPOCAST continues tomorrow. God bless you for hearing and staying with us.